Hey everybody, it's Stove Talk with Matt. I'm changing the purpose of this video up. I never had the final coal test. So in my commentary, I'm going to talk a lot about coal. Just you can kind of ignore it. This is just in general, how to make a nice little grate for yourself if you're building a fire brick stove, wood or coal. A fire brick is soft, it's easy to cut. I'll show you the tool I used for my angle grinder. There's a lot of reasons why you want to make a grate for some sorts of stoves when burning a fire. Whenever you have a grate stove, there's very little smoke. It has better combustion. You don't smoke out your neighbors. It's a very easy way, no matter what stove you're constructing, to make a grate. I use political signs. They're steel. Make sure you get the steel, not aluminum. That's not permanent, of course, just for my tests. You want to use rebar. I'll show you what you can do here. And ignore my commentaries focused on coal. I just never got to the final coal test, guys, nor will I be able to do that. Stove, but this time I'm going to make a real grate, or it's still temporary, but as real as I can do in a temporary stove. I got these from political signs. I'm pretty sure I tested one and they're steel, so it will not melt. Aluminum would melt. Make sure you're dealing with steel and not aluminum. It would be best to use rebar if you're making this permanently in your home. So I took this brick out, but these two, I just marked the spots here of where I'm going to cut with an angle grinder. I'm going to cut grooves, and this is these, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the middle, I'm going to do 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them are going to sit down into the brick and act as a grate. And just sliding it back and forth isn't going to really be good enough, I don't think. I hope the groove is big enough where I can shake it a bit. Also, I'm going to floss from underneath. But again, a coal stove that you can't keep going at least for 3 or 4 or 5 days is really not worth very much. This is the blade that we're going to use for the angle grinder to make our grooves in the fire brick. Fire brick's very soft. This should cut easily. It wouldn't cut brick very well, but it cuts fire brick. It's for grout, I think, removing grout and tile. It's very thick. And also, guys, just a quick note for those that haven't used many angle grinders, always note the direction it turns and match it up with this. So this wants to go the other way. So when I put it on, just have to flip it. Okay, this is after all the cuts. Let's see how we're doing here. Lay it in this groove. I'm going to put a brick across just to make sure I got the groove shallow or deep enough, sorry. And then it would slide back and forth. I'm going to try to do another one down the middle here too, because I think this space will be too... I've got a lot of junk coal, and the junk coal is real small. I think it'll fall through. I might do another one here, I'm not sure. But I'm going to put another brick on top. Like, that's too shallow, but you get the idea of what I did there. From all those coal tests, of which many of them were overfired, it got too hot. I did have one crack, just one. It's still solid. I mean, I'm using it in this test. It's very solid, but I'm not thrilled with this. So these fire bricks that you get at the yards that sell brick and cinder block construction brick yards and cinder block yards, cement block yards, they do make these in different grades. This is a medium grade. I don't know if it's 2,000 degrees. I mean, this shouldn't happen, but it was only one, at least for the first 5 or 6 rows in the coal bed. I don't think I use a soft fire brick. The real soft ones are very expensive, and pieces will chip off. I use a hard fire brick, but the highest grade I could for the coal bed itself. Then after you get out of the coal bed, you can use just a regular fire brick. I think these come in different grades. I would spend 40 cents more per brick. Okay, I have no idea if this is going to work for coal. Remember, this is just a BS test. I mean, I'm hoping these are steel. They're from political signs. For a permanent thing, you'd use rebar. And then if the rebar, something happened to it over 4 or 5 years, you just replace it in 2 seconds. They just slide in and out. If I was mortaring with clay and lime and sand bricks over top of this, I would mortar it, but I just keep these keep these moving, or maybe just keep my lime down to a minimum, just clay and sand, and just keep moving them back and forth so they don't set up. Even if they set up with clay and sand, you could probably just hammer them and open the channel back up. I don't know. I mean, again, if you were doing this in your home, you'd want to use rebar thicker. Of course, you'd have a lot less of these, and you'd want to use a bigger coal, a nut coal that's of good size. This junk coal I've had just sitting around the house. I got it from somebody that had a bunch in his basement in Westchester. It's smaller, but the nut coal like at Harbor Freight, Tractor Supply, is a little bigger. So it would be better to have 3 less and just a thicker rebar and use a bigger chunk coal, a nut coal, or a stove coal, anthracite, and then you'd have a more robust grate. Okay, here we are. Is this going to be an adequate shaker grate? I doubt it. And again, you'd probably just weld little things on the end so you don't slip and lose it. But if one totally comes out, piece of cake, you just guide it back in. Shaking these back and forth isn't going to be good enough. However, I'm going to try flossing, which is when you come up, use the ash door there, which is pretty big, to get in with a poker or even like a coat hanger and rake across the seams from underneath as an alternative to a shaker grate.